Welcome to Smart Updates, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you are new here, do not forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an update. I'm sure you've heard the news. India is racing to become the next global manufacturing powerhouse, but the journey is far from simple. As the first rays of sunlight break over the sprawling industrial parks of Sri Perumbudur, a new day begins in the heart of India's manufacturing revolution. The landscape, once dominated by fields and small villages, now glistens with the promise of modern industry. Every morning, thousands of workers stream towards the factory gates, their faces a mix of hope and determination. For many, these jobs represent more than just a paycheck. They are a ticket to a better life, a chance to move beyond the uncertainties of agriculture and into the stability of industrial employment. Inside the factories, the air vibrates with the constant hum of machinery. Young men and women, many of whom are first-generation industrial workers, focus intently as they assemble smartphones and other electronics. For them, this work is not just a job, but a symbol of progress and a bridge to a new future. India's ambition to become a global manufacturing powerhouse is embodied in initiatives like Make in India. These programs have drawn international giants such as Foxconn, who see the country as a vital link in the world's supply chain. The banners and logos are everywhere, signaling a nation eager to claim its place on the global stage. On the factory floor, every movement is choreographed with precision. Rows of workers and machines operate in perfect sync, each task a crucial part of a vast, intricate puzzle. The scale and efficiency are impressive, a testament to the country's rapid industrial growth. Yet beneath the surface of this productivity, the reality is more complex. Long hours, repetitive tasks, and the challenge of adapting to a new work culture can take a toll on even the most resilient workers. Fatigue is common, and the adjustment from rural life to factory discipline is not always easy. In dormitories and cafeterias, conversations often turn to wages, overtime, and the cost of living. Workers share stories of their journeys, their aspirations, and the sacrifices they make to support families back home. These discussions reveal both the opportunities and the hardships that come with India's industrial transformation. The workers are the backbone of this operation, the human foundation upon which India's tech dream is built. Yet, their voices and challenges are frequently overlooked in the rush to meet production targets and global demand. Today, assembly lines churn out millions of devices destined for markets around the world. The pace is relentless, and the sense of achievement is real. But beneath the surface, uncertainty lingers about job security, about the future, and about the sustainability of this rapid growth. Rumors of scaled-back expansion plans and canceled projects circulate among the workforce, creating an undercurrent of anxiety. For many, the dream of steady employment is shadowed by the fear of sudden change. The vision of India as a global manufacturing leader is being tested by economic shifts, global competition, and the realities of rapid industrialization. The path forward is uncertain, and the stakes are high, not just for companies, but for millions of workers and their families. What happens next in India's tech journey will shape not only the future of one nation, but the future of global manufacturing itself. The world is watching as India strives to turn its tech dream into reality, one shift, one worker, and one device at a time. Foxconn's expansion into India marked a pivotal chapter in the global electronics industry, signaling not just a shift in manufacturing geography, but also a bold promise of billions of dollars in investment. The announcement sent ripples through both the Indian and international business communities, as Foxconn, the world's largest contract electronics manufacturer, set its sights on transforming India into a major production hub. The vision was grand: to create a vast, interconnected manufacturing ecosystem that would rival the scale and efficiency of Foxconn's legendary operations in China. This meant not only building massive factories, but also nurturing a network of suppliers, logistics partners, and skilled workers across the country. The plan was to replicate its success in China, constructing state-of-the-art facilities equipped with cutting-edge technology, and developing a deep, resilient supply chain capable of supporting high-volume production for global brands like Apple. Initial hopes soared, as Foxconn's ambitions aligned perfectly with India's own vision to become a global manufacturing powerhouse. The government rolled out the red carpet, offering incentives and support to attract this game-changing investment. Foxconn wasted no time, rapidly establishing operations in key states like Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. These regions soon buzzed with activity, as new factories rose from the ground and thousands of jobs were created almost overnight. Production lines for iPhones began humming, marking a significant milestone for India's tech sector. Ambitious plans for a state-of-the-art semiconductor plant also took shape, signaling Foxconn's intent to move up the value chain and make India a center for advanced electronics manufacturing. Yet, behind the scenes, Foxconn's leadership faced a complex and unfamiliar environment. Navigating India's unique business landscape required patience, adaptability, and a willingness to learn. India was not China. The pace of business, regulatory frameworks, and cultural nuances were markedly different. Progress often depended on building relationships, understanding local expectations, and adapting to a slower, more deliberate decision-making process. Foxconn's executives found themselves in countless meetings, negotiating with local partners, government officials, and community leaders. Each discussion was a step toward bridging the gap between global ambition and local reality. The initial phase was one of intense learning and adjustment. Workers underwent rigorous training, managers refined processes, and teams adapted to new technologies and standards. While public narratives highlighted rapid progress and optimism, the reality was a meticulous, step-by-step process. Every milestone was hard-won, requiring careful planning and relentless attention to detail. Foxconn's journey in India was about more than just factories and investments. It was about laying the groundwork for a new era of opportunity, innovation, and partnership in a land filled with both promise and challenges. The China Plus One strategy became essential for global manufacturing giants like Foxconn, who had long relied on China as the world's factory floor. For years, China's vast infrastructure, skilled labor force, and efficient supply chains made it the go-to destination for electronics manufacturing. But as the world changed, so did the risks. Seeking to diversify beyond China, Foxconn and other companies began searching for alternative locations to spread their operations and reduce dependency on a single country. Geopolitical tensions, ongoing trade wars, and rising labor costs made this shift not just a smart move, but an urgent necessity for survival and growth. India, with its vast population of over 1.4 billion people and a stable, democratic government, quickly emerged as a promising candidate for this new wave of investment. India's youthful workforce, with millions entering the job market each year and comparatively lower wages, were critical advantages for labor-intensive industries like electronics assembly. The Indian government recognized this opportunity and rolled out a series of incentives, such as the Production-Linked Incentive Scheme, to attract global manufacturers and boost local production. These programs were specifically designed to lure industry giants like Foxconn, offering tax breaks, subsidies, and streamlined regulations to make setting up shop in India as attractive as possible. Beyond manufacturing, India also represented a colossal, largely untapped consumer market, with millions of potential new customers eager for the latest technology. Manufacturing locally allowed companies to avoid hefty import tariffs, making their products more competitive in the Indian market and boosting profit margins. The dual opportunity to serve both the massive domestic market and export to the world made India a uniquely powerful proposition for global manufacturers. Foxconn needed a new base to secure its future, while India needed jobs, technology, and investment to fuel its economic ambitions. On paper, it was a match made in manufacturing heaven, a partnership that promised growth, opportunity, and a new chapter for both Foxconn and India. Foxconn soon discovered India's complex bureaucracy. In China, decisions were quick and top-down. In India, it was decentralized. Securing permits became a slow, frustrating process. Each state had its own rules, causing delays and increased costs. The regulatory environment was unpredictable, with frequent policy changes. This instability made long-term planning difficult. The collapse of Foxconn's semiconductor venture with Vedanta highlighted these challenges. Disagreements over approvals and incentives led to its failure. This sent a chilling message to global investors. Foxconn learned the realities of navigating India's complex systems. Foxconn faced challenges with India's infrastructure. Reliable electricity, high-speed internet, and efficient transport are crucial for manufacturing. Inconsistent power supply was a critical problem. Power outages could damage machinery and ruin products. Transportation bottlenecks delayed shipments, affecting inventory systems. The absence of a mature local supply chain was a greater challenge. Foxconn had to import high-value components, defeating the purpose of moving to India. Building a local supply chain takes decades. Local suppliers lacked the expertise and scale to compete. This supply chain gap remained a fundamental weakness. India's labor pool required significant investment in training. Workers lacked experience in formal factory settings. Foxconn established extensive training programs, adding cost and time. Cultural differences in work ethic and management style posed challenges. High absenteeism and turnover affected productivity. Management struggled with cultural and linguistic divides. Labor relations in India were complex, with a history of trade unions. Protests over conditions highlighted risks. These challenges impacted efficiency and scalability. Foxconn's experience showed that harnessing India's demographic dividend is a long-term project. Foxconn's decisions are influenced by global geopolitics. The company is caught between the US and China. The US push to decouple supply chains from China pressured firms like Foxconn. However, China's influence remains immense. Foxconn's deep relationship with China provides benefits hard to replicate. Pulling back too quickly could invite retaliation from Beijing. China's probes into Foxconn's subsidiaries were a political warning. This reminded Foxconn of its vulnerability. The company adopted a China plus N approach, diversifying across countries. India is one piece of a larger puzzle. Foxconn is not abandoning India, but recalibrating its strategy. The company is pulling back from ambitious projects but expanding existing operations. This is a strategic pivot based on lessons learned. Challenges in India made replicating China's scale difficult. Foxconn focuses on smaller expansions, minimizing risk. The urgency of the China Plus One strategy has softened. The focus is on gradual diversification. Foxconn balances long-term diversification with short-term efficiency. India is a long-term play, not a quick fix. The pullback is a sign of a maturing strategy. Foxconn's pullback is a reality check for India. It highlights the gap between ambition and business realities. India must accelerate reforms to attract investment. Bureaucratic inertia and infrastructure need addressing. Foxconn's journey shows the difficulty of diversifying from China. Building a new ecosystem is a decades-long endeavor. Companies will adopt cautious multi-country strategies. India's future is challenging but not bleak. The focus must shift to solving grassroots problems. Foxconn's story is part of a larger narrative of global economic reconfiguration.